Hey everybody, Greg Davis, SuperAffiliateRockstar.com. This is part 3. Start off being the worst day of my life, but this is actually going to be shaping up to be one of the best days of your life, and this is why. So look, on the last email, I was saying how, especially these days, like so many affiliates are just so focused on Facebook, especially like, really high volume, affiliates that are making a lot of money. And not even just them. I mean, just the whole internet marketing community in general, is so focused on Facebook, and for good reason. I mean, look, I will tell you now, I think that Facebook is probably like the best, just overall self-serve ad interface that I've ever seen in my life. And I've pretty much been on all of them. I've been doing this since the year 2000. All right, so Facebook is the shit. I mean, let's face it, and it has tons and tons of volume. But there's another traffic source that I would say 90% of affiliates and internet marketers are overlooking, which has way more traffic than Facebook. Okay, way more, and I'm going to show you exactly how much more in a second. But it's a huge traffic source that you really need to be focusing on, and that is the Google Display Network. All right, also known as GDN. All right. So, this is something that, because I've made a lot of money on Google. I've made way more money on Google than I've ever made on Facebook, even though I've done extremely well on Facebook. But, Google has always been, something that I've really been good at. And, I've never stopped, and Google Display Network is probably, one of the best places that you can really scale and do some, massive numbers. Okay. So I'm going to just, show you some stats here. Now, we know that I think Facebook has like 1.4 billion users or whatever, and a whole bunch of those are fake anyway. But let's just give them the 1.4 billion, okay? Well, there are 7.4 billion people on the planet, all right? And the Google Display Network can reach 90% of them, okay? So 90% of the world's population is reached by Google Display Network. All right, so whatever 90% of 7.3 billion is, I don't have a calculator in front of me, but I know it's way more than 1.4 billion. All right, so as big and bad as Facebook is, it does not come close to matching the amount of people that Google Display Network can reach. All right. Google Display Network reaches 94% of United States internet users. Okay, 94%, and the United States market is by far, especially for most of the stuff we do, is by far the biggest of any one country. And 65% of them are reached every single day. Okay, every single day, 65% of them are reached, by the Google Display Network. I mean, the numbers are just astronomical. Say, and here's another one, because if you are really hardcore doing this stuff, you know that, the massive, I mean, the biggest part of, like, if you're doing really massive traffic, the biggest part of it these days is mobile. Let's face it. All right, and Google Display Network reaches 89% of U.S. Smartphone users. Okay, so the Google Display Network has just just ridiculous reach. All right, it is I won't say it's infinitely scalable, but it is damn near close to just infinitely scalable as of any traffic source. All right, and this is why, look, I mean, they serve 1 trillion impressions every month. Okay, a trillion with a T. All right, and they have 2 million plus websites that they're served across. Okay, Facebook is basically one website. Facebook.com, whereas the ads for the Google Display Network are served over 2 million websites, and 65% of the top 200 websites in the world are served by Google Display Network. All right, so let's face it. I mean, I've had my battles with Google, but they're number one in traffic. I mean, especially when you put Google and YouTube together, like a number one video platform, number one blog platform, number one email service provider, and you can advertise to all of those outlets. All right. So it's massive what you can do, with Google Display Network. So, look, I am holding, and the other thing is, like, there's really, kind of a lack of information, or really good information on Google Display Network. There's tons and tons and tons of courses on Facebook, everything you ever wanted to do on Facebook, right, left, up, down, and forward. Whereas there's not a ton of of information, of good information, especially on the Google Display Network. So here's what I'm going to do. I am going to do an all content webinar. Okay. This is not, type of webinar where it's all building towards the close and, it's all about, selling something. This is all content. All right. And this is what we're going to go over. Okay. Not only myself, but I have a really good friend. His name is Sam Bell, and he is probably like the foremost authority as far as people that I know personally and I have a really wide and deep network. Okay. He knows the most about Google Display Network by far. Okay. And Sam's a good friend, and if you've been around me and followed me for any length of time, you know that I've done some things with Sam before. He's spoken at my events. I mean, we've done a lot of business together. So Sam is the man. Like, if I have a question about a Google Display Network, he's my go-to guy. All right. So him and I are going to get together, and for 2 hours, okay, minimum, we're going to give you an all content webinar, and we're going to show you exactly how to set up your GDN campaigns for maximum profit. Another thing about, GDN is that, which a lot of people are scared of, is that, excuse me, you can definitely, lose a lot of money quickly, because you can tap into a lot of traffic, but, if you don't do things right, you can lose a lot of money. So, and there's one URL in particular, a secret URL that you want to exclude from all your placements. Trust me, I've been there. A lot of stuff I tell you is from my personal experience, and it's been bad. So look, you're going to know this, okay? Also, we're going to get into some GDN layering techniques so that you can laser target to the masses, okay? One of the really big benefits of Facebook is the targeting. I mean, no doubt. But you can do a lot of really slick stuff with GDN as well, and laser target your offers to the masses, okay? We're going to talk about how to test fast on a small budget, okay? Because I realize not everybody out here, has huge budgets to buy traffic with, all right? So we're going to show you that test fast on a small budget. And we're going to be talking about the AdWords editor, interface, all right? Because that's something that you're going to be using if you're going to be doing any kind of high volume, Google AdWords traffic, all right? I'm gonna really get deep into how to scale this thing, okay? How to scale from, a few $100s per day, to over, 6 figures per day, okay? Because it can be done on Google, and I've done it, lots of times. So, this is something that I'm gonna go over and tell you, how you can really scale stuff out. And look, I've been doing this for a long time. Sam's doing it for a long time, and nobody, like, we've never heard of anybody, that are applying some of the techniques that we're doing on Google Display Network. Okay, because look, there is an alternative to Facebook, people. Like, everybody's all getting frustrated, with Facebook banning, everybody. And it's funny, like, everything kind of comes full circle, because, like, say right back around like 2010, Google was on a rampage. They banned everybody, and so a lot of people jumped to Facebook because Facebook was a lot easier to deal with. Okay, well, fast forward to like I would say like the past year and a half or so, and like Facebook has just like totally gone Google, and just really like been laid a smackdown on a lot of internet marketers, affiliate marketers, direct marketers in general, ban a lot of people. Whereas Google right now is a lot easier to deal with than Facebook. All right, I repeat, Google is a lot easier to deal with right now than Facebook. All right, and man, we've been crushing it. Like, where everybody, and don't get me wrong, like, I play the Facebook game, I buy accounts and all this type of stuff, sell accounts sometimes too. Do my thing on Facebook, but man, we've been crushing it, like absolutely like killing it on Google. While a lot of people have just been like, really, just bitching and moaning about Facebook. All right, Facebook is not the only game in town. Matter of fact, there's a game that's got more traffic than Facebook. All right, so look, myself and Sam, we're gonna get into this like in depth. Okay, all content webinar. It is gonna happen Tuesday, March 17th, from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. That's New York time. And if we go over, we go over. That's fine. I mean, there's gonna be minimum to 4. I kind of have a feeling that Sam and I together, and based on whatever questions come in, we're probably gonna go over the 2 hours. So so you might want to be prepared to go over. But look, man, we are gonna like just get into it and just tell you, look, exactly how to make money with the Google Display Network. And I'm gonna just tell you how. And look, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm not the most elegant, GDN aficionado. Okay, like, cause I kind of more to do like brute force. I mean, because I just want like massive traffic. Sam is way better than me as far as like really refining things and and make things more targeted. And that's, so you'll get the best of both worlds. Get me and him. So that's again Tuesday, 2 p.m. Now look, this is not a free webinar. I can see, because free webinars, it's all about selling a product or whatever. Okay, so we want to just deliver content. All right. So this is a $97 webinar. Okay, this webinar costs $97. All right, but and I've done these before, and if you've been following me for a while, kind of know how it works. But look, this is how it works. All right, when you're going to register for the webinar, and you're going to sign up for the webinar for $97, but you're not going to get charged anything today. Okay, you're not going to get charged anything today. All right, what's going to happen is you're going to get on the webinar, and you're going to listen to the content. Hopefully you'll like it. But if for whatever reason you don't, at the end of the webinar, we're going to give you a secret email address. Okay, at the end of the webinar, you're going to get a secret email address, and then you email that email address and say, you know what, this really wasn't for me. I didn't really like it, whatever, so don't charge me, all right? And so we won't charge you the $97. All right, so basically where it's going to be set up is that the charge won't go through till after, a few days after the webinar. So you'll have time, to determine whether or not you thought it was worth it. I mean, I'm telling you, it's going to be worth 10 times $97, but if for whatever reason you don't feel though it was worth it, then you can just use the secret email that we're going to give you at the end of the webinar, and then you will not be charged. Okay, so the upshot of it is, like, you only pay if you are totally satisfied. All right, so when you click on the link below, it's going to take you to a page where you're buying something, but trust me, it's only going to be a zero charge. It's going to be zero charge to your card today, and it's only going to be charged after the webinar. And if for whatever reason you didn't like the webinar, you didn't think it was worth it, then you can email this address that we give you at the end of the webinar, and then we won't charge you. All right, so that's the way it goes. If you don't like it, you don't pay. But look, I promise that you're going to really, if you're into like getting a lot of traffic and really need to, especially if you want to dominate and get, a lot of volume, then you are going to be loving, this webinar that Sam and I are going to do. All right, so again, Tuesday, March 17th, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there or be broke. Greg Davis signing out. Peace.